What is up, guys? I'm bringing you another commentary, and there's kind of a sort of funny story behind this. Like, honestly, it's not really that funny, but originally I didn't intend on doing the commentary over this particular video gameplay. Originally, I had a plan to where Bioshock would do it. I uploaded a low resolution file on YouTube, told them, just send me the audio file, and I'll upload it in high resolution or whatever. But it turns out Bio really couldn't come up with anything to say after the 2-minute marker. So I mean, I guess that plan kind of fell through, and he also suggested we do, a little Skype chat, and we do like, I don't know, maybe a conversation over this particular gameplay, but he's kind of disappeared recently, so that's not really technically possible. So, I just decided, whatever, I'll just do commentary over it. And like I said, this is probably the best Chosen One gameplay ever. I mean, Arbitros has gotten pretty close. He's gotten like 23 executions in his run through. I think the last dude, like, I uploaded the video, I think the last dude literally mollied himself, thus preventing Arbitros from getting the final execution, all 24. And I got pretty close too on University. I almost got all the 24 possible executions, but unfortunately they busted out, the big RQs. They started, pulling out their Ethernet cables and rage quitting, and I only got 23 executions, but I was also pretty close. But Bioshock managed to be the first to get all 24 executions, and on top of all that, nobody died, including himself and the people, following, supporting him, healing him, gifting him stuff, which is pretty impressive. And it's probably the best Chosen One gameplay ever. And if you don't not really sure what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to the Chosen One, it's this little concept we kind of threw around amongst my group of friends. Like, hey, let's do a match where like one person gets all the executions or whatever, and the rest of the people just kind of follow him around, healing him, gifting him stuff. And we tried it out, and it was a pretty fun variant considering that there aren't that many modes in The Last of Us. There's supply raid, and then there's survivors, and there's not much else. So we decided, kind of like Michael Myers, or the infected thing that kind of blew up in the Halo, multiplayer space. We kind of came up with our own little thing. I doubt it'll ever get as huge as Michael Myers or infected or whatever, but it's a little unique little concept we decided to come up with, and it's something entertaining and different for us to do while we're playing the multiplayer, outside of trying mad hard and pub stomping or what have you. But it's a pretty fun challenge, and I did a video, community challenge, like, let's see if you guys can pull it off or whatever. And unfortunately, because there's no cinema mode in The Last of Us, no one can really send me any cinemas like showing me, hey, I did the Chosen One or whatever. Or I didn't really get much like feedback saying, hey, I tried it out, it was fun or anything. I think I saw some of the comments in the Arbitros Chosen One video, and people thought it was pretty funny and it was cool and stuff, but I'm not really sure if anyone actually tried doing it or if the concept ever took off. I didn't really market it or sell it as well as I could have. I just posted up a video, and I was wondering if any of you guys would give it a try. I probably could have gone to the Naughty Dog forums and posted it up there. I'm not really keen on the social media, but I do have a Twitter account for those who give a shit, and I don't know, I maybe could have done something there, but probably not. I'm not too experienced. I'm kind of a newbie when it comes to the social media aspect of things. I just made my Twitter account for those who give a shit. Probably nobody, but like I said, I could have spread the word a little bit more. Maybe this time around with this video, I'll creep into the back alley that I like to think of as the Naughty Dog forums. That dirty back alley cesspool of a forums. And maybe more people give me some feedback on this little concept that we came up with, or see if more people are keen on trying it out and stuff. It's unfortunate that there is no cinema mode, so I can't really see like other people's attempts or know if anyone pulled it off per se. But like I was saying, Bioshock's Chosen One run is probably the best I've ever seen. Nobody dies. He gets all 24 executions. He gets a few extra downs. I think we might down some enemies. We might have, but like I said, the point of Chosen One, if you don't know what it is one person on the team has to get all the kills for the team, while the rest of the people are not allowed to do anything in terms of like killing people. You can down them. Like, let's say you have a melee stick and you're not the Chosen One. It's perfectly okay for to one-hit stick them and they'll get down, but the Chosen One has to execute them. They have to be the ones to get the actual execution of the kill, whatever. Downs are fine. You'll see in the video we throw a lot of smoke bombs and stuff, and we kind of just follow around the person actually getting the kills and healing them up, gifting them stuff. We're using craft to level 3 so we can like frequently give them gifts for them to use and stuff. And it's a pretty fun little mini game we decided to come up with, since Last of Us isn't really too big on content multiplayer wise, even though multiplayer minute to minute gameplay is fun and excellent. It does get a little bit old and repetitive considering there's only 2 modes, and there's not really much else to do after that. There's no other modes. Once you reach max level, you're kind of just bummed out in terms of what you can do, or max, I don't know, insignia, emblems, whatever it is. And the Chosen One's a fun little thing you can do with your friends. I recommend doing this, with a full party of people that you're comfortable playing with, or if you find a good lobby. Having a really good lobby is definitely key to doing this. I don't recommend doing this against like mega tryhards because it'll probably fail pretty epically. But I mean, hey, you're more than welcome to do it whenever you want. But Bioshock kind of got pretty lucky with this lobby. I mean, these kids were probably the worst of the worst. These kids were like pretty much retarded. They were all like fairly low level. I don't think any of them completed their journey, so they kind of had very little to no experience with this multiplayer. So Bioshock managed to get the luck of the draw with the lobby. These kids were pretty bad. But I mean, credit to them for pulling it off and doing it without anyone dying. That's pretty impressive in and of itself. And it was a lot of fun doing it, and I tried to do it on University. And for those who are wondering, how can it be done? How could you get all the kills for the team against 4 people? It's basically a 1v4. It's not particularly that hard per se if you get like a good lobby like this, but it can be tricky if you haven't really done it before. Like I said, you definitely have to try it once to kind of get the hang of it. But some mishaps that people do when we've done the Chosen One, like we rotate around our friends to see what it is you kind of have to be a little bit aggressive because it's pretty much a fact that you're going to be doing all the work for the team. You're the one who's going to have to get all the executions, all the downs or whatever. You're the one who's going to be up in front center, and you can't really be slow-paced about it. I know The Last of Us has this slow-paced vibe to it, but when you're the Chosen One, you kind of have to push. You kind of have to be aggressive. Otherwise, you're going to run out of time, or the other team's just going to hide it out. Like one Chosen One that wasn't exactly the best Chosen One I've ever seen, but arguably was the funniest was when Teffy's was doing it. And granted, I'm going to cut him some slack because we kind of did it on checkpoint, and we kind of learned that it's best to do the Chosen One on fairly larger maps, something like Lakeside. This is a great map to do the Chosen One, or University where I almost did it. Like I said, at checkpoint, it's kind of cramped. A lot of the action kind of focused on the middle-ish area. The 10 people tend to group up, and it's kind of crampy. And it kind of gets pretty messy. So I guess, we're being a little harsh when we were like laughing really harsh at Teffy's for his fail. But granted, he did get shivved right at the start of his Chosen One, and then he got shivved 3 more times. And it's kind of ironic considering there's 3 people on the team who weren't even doing anything lethal-wise, and they somehow decided to shiv Teffy's the Chosen One every single time, which was pretty funny. And on top of that, I think like he got a little freaked out and he started slowing his gameplay down, and the minutes were passing by, and I think he still had to kill like maybe 10 more people, and he only had like a minute or 2 left. So Teffy's, credit to Teffy's for giving a try the Chosen One, which is all I'm asking you guys to do. Give it a try or not. If you're not really keen on doing something silly or weird like this, you're more than welcome not to do it. But it's pretty fun. It's something different that a lot of people, probably haven't really done much. And there's not much to do with The Last of Us multiplayer, considering there's such a limited content here, disappointingly. But like I said, it's a fun little thing for you and your friends to definitely do and entertain yourself while you're doing. And I think it's a little disappointing because on the topic of The Last of Us and not much to offer, I think that's a major reason why it's kind of died off as of late. A lot of people who played The Last of Us kind of stopped after 100 GB. We haven't really gotten much action on The Last of Us at all on FN or on Game Battles after, at least we got 100 wins, which was pretty impressive. But it's kind of disappointing to see The Last of Us kind of die off this quickly, considering how active it was for a while. No GBs, no FNs. There was talks of this tournament, Triple Rec, and whatever. I guess Triple Rec does everything now, but Triple Rec was supposed to like set up a tournament for The Last of Us, and they told us, I'll get back to you in a week. And a week passed, and nothing was said, and then another week passed, and then by the 3rd week, we kind of just assumed it was never going to happen. The Last of Us and the competitive support for that tournament probably just a myth, much like a unicorn. We heard about it, but we're probably never going to see it happen. I'm not really sure. Maybe we need some DLC to give this multiplayer a second life, because I know there's been articles talking about the DLC coming out, and I'm not really sure if the single-player DLC is coming out first or the multiplayer, but something needs to give this multiplayer some new breath in terms of content, because no one's really playing this multiplayer anymore. It's kind of disappointing considering there's nothing inherently wrong with this multiplayer. It's, you know, it's basic, it's clean, but I love its simplicity and its elegance, and I do love the strategy to it and the focus on teamwork. And it's really disappointing to see this multiplayer die off. At the same time, it might have to do with the fact, you know, we're all kind of at a transitional phase right now. We're all, you know, getting ready. We're all talking about the next generation, the PS4, the Xbox One. And that might be the reason why it's killing this multiplayer competitive wise, because I mean, when you think of competitive game, you think of kind of a long-term plan of what you're supporting, and considering GTA is coming out, you know, September 17th, which kind of renders a lot of games irrelevant after that juggernaut of a title comes out. I mean, GTA is pretty huge. I'm not sure if it's going to be huge competitive multiplayer wise. Maybe if they keep it more in lines with Max Payne, which is what it's looking like they're doing, it might be something special competitive wise. But I mean, regardless, I'm going to be picking it up, and a lot of people are going to be picking up GTA. And I think the fact that GTA is coming out so soon kind of is another reason outside of the next generation of consoles why people kind of don't care about The Last of Us. I mean, we got the next generation of consoles, we got the juggernaut title known as GTA coming out. There's a lot of movement right now in the gaming industry, and I guess there's no real place or anyone really giving The Last of Us multiplayer a fair shake. I saw an article on IGN talking about how underappreciated the multiplayer was, but you know, that's just one little article. And I think they were talking in the coming week that they'll show something for like future DLC maybe. Maybe they'll finally show something off. I'm not really sure. But it's really disappointing to see The Last of Us, a multiplayer I really have been enjoying when I played with it. I don't even play it anymore. Like that pretty much tells you everything. I don't even play that multiplayer anymore, honestly, very much. Like I think I got hopped on like a few days ago, played it for a bit, and kind of just hopped off. Like I said, it's kind of disappointing to see this multiplayer kind of die off so quickly. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see if DLC is enough to give it some life, or it's too late for The Last of Us. It kind of just came a little too late. But that's about it for this commentary, this chosen one gameplay or whatever. As always, leave your thoughts and comments below on what you thought of the video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
No.
We need this, man.
Take point. I gotta pack myself up.
Serious.
Wonder what they're all doing.
Oh man, he's probably hiding in the worst spot.
This should be gonna fucking creep. Like that'll be the worst.
Only a few left.
Yeah.
Down.
Did it?